Well, good evening, Campfire crew. It's Tony and Stella checking in from the lodge. Hey, we got a great video today. We got a couple videos and some things that we've been doing. We're going to put them all in the same video. But today, we just ate lunch a little while ago, and I thought I'd cook something special because Catherine's been asking for one. I told her a week or so ago that I cooked a blooming onion. So if you guys ever cooked a blooming onion, last week, the thing about a blooming onion is you don't have to limit yourself to how you do it. There's multiple ways you can do it. I believe that we have got a recipe that is as good or better than that big chain store that cooks an onion in that style. So today, Stella and myself want to cook a blooming onion, and we want y'all to come along for the ride. Okay, so instead of just cooking a blooming onion, we're going to cook a different version, or a couple of different versions of a blooming onion. One of these blooming onions, we are going to batter it before we deep fry it in flour. Now we're going to put some spice in there. And the other one, are y'all ready for this? We're going to batter our blooming onion in pancake batter. So it's like an onion with a little bit of a sweet taste. It is something else. So you need a couple of things before you get ready to start deep frying your onion. And one of them is you want to make a binder, or you want to make a something wet to make the onion hold the flour to the onion. So we're going to use a little bit of milk, and we're going to use an egg. So we're going to break our egg in a bowl. And put us a little bit of milk in. Okay. Okay, got us a binder. All right, here's the thing about cooking a blooming onion. Find the side that has like the root or whatever you call that end of it from. Leave that side on the onion and cut off the part that would have had the green part that come up. Come down about a ½ inch from the top. You want to give you a good flat surface across the top. Leave your bottom on. And we want to do 2 of them. We have 2 onions. First thing we want to do is I want you to take a paring knife of some kind, and you don't cut all the way up into the top. You come down just a little bit. If you cut all the way up at the top, when your onion opens up, it falls all the way open. And we don't want it to. We want it to stay upright. It'll open and separate as you cook it. So initially, come back off of the top just a little piece. I'm going to start somewhere in this area, or maybe in here. See how much distance I left to the top? I'm going to cut my onion back. Initially, I'm going to cut it in something like quarters, and then I'll go back between the quarters. Get out here. Okay. We've got it cut well. Now the onion's going to open up as we start cooking the onion. So I'm going to get the camera up closer and let y'all see this. Okay, here's onion number 2. I'm going to come back a little bit off of the top and cut down. I'm going to cut it in 4s to start with, and then I'll go between the 4s. I don't want to cut all the way up to the top. And this one I'm going to make the petals be a little bigger. Just to do different things. Okay, so we've got it cut. I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm gonna separate the petals just a little bit. We wanna be able to get flour and we wanna be able to get our pancake batter down inside of it. Okay. All right, next step. We want to put our binder on it, which is milk and an egg. I don't know what that is, but it's on my last nerve. Okay. One of them we want to batter in flour, and the other we want to batter it in pancake mix. So I'm going to separate the petals just a little bit as I put my I put my flour on. See how it tries to fall apart? And the other, get some binder on it. And we're going to do this one in pancake batter. Now y'all notice we're going to cook this thing in a cast iron pot. We're going to use some vegetable oil. And initially we're going to fill it a little better than a quarter of the way up. Alright, we may add a little bit more once we get the onion in, because the oil's going to come up once I stick the onion in. So let's let that heat up, and then we're going to get our onions. Okay, we've got a little salt already on it, and I want to show you something I'm going to put on it. I'm going to put some Conecuh sausage, pork, poultry, and wild game seasoning on top of it. Remember, I told you that blooming onions are extremely versatile. So we don't want to just kill it, but we want to put us a little bit on there for some flavoring. A little bit on the other one. So, one thing about country people is we don't throw a butter bowl away, or we don't throw a Cool Whip bowl away. Have y'all ever eaten anything from a butter bowl or a Cool Whip bowl? Man, it's a staple in the South. You don't throw bowls away. You use them bowls. Okay, we've got our grease up somewhere around 350 to 375 degrees. Okay, we're going to let that cook for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then we're going to look at it. Okay, are y'all ready to see this thing? It's been about 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get it out of here without breaking it apart. What about that? How pretty is that? Remember what I told you about if you cut it too deep? If you cut it too deep, it falls open. Bo, get out of here. So let's get number 2 cooked. I'll show y'all Bo. Bo, what are you doing in here? You know you're not supposed to be in, and don't you get in that garbage. All right, Campfire crew, we've got our blooming onions done. We've got one cooked in pancake batter and one cooked in flour. And both of them, we put a little bit of seasoning on and some salt and pepper. So let's go mix us up some dip, maybe some ranch or something like that. And let's see how good these things are. First of all, let's try out a piece now. Oh, that's too hot to try. Listen, I think it's good. All right, listen, thank y'all for coming along. Appreciate y'all watching the video with me. Take some time today and make a blooming onion. This is too easy. Everybody has onions and flour and salt and pepper and a little bit of seasoning at home. Take some time today and make a blooming onion. And always, life's an adventure. Don't get caught sitting at home. You should be out here in the lodge with me and Stella about to throw down on some blooming onions. Okay, we've got a couple of skillets heating up. One thing about cooking with cast iron, and this is something to always remember, if you want cast iron to really cook well and not stick, heat your cast iron up first. I got a little oil in both of them. I'm going to cook eggs in one, I'm going to cook spam in the other. But get your cast iron heated up first and it doesn't stick well. And one more thing I want to say about cast iron is you need to use it. If you've got freshly seasoned cast iron and it still really hadn't got to where you want it at yet and seasoned like you want it, that's hot, then use the cast iron. Get it out, cook you some bacon in it, cook you something in it to help start coating that cast iron. When you get that cast iron hot, that cast iron works well. So get it hot first, and I know that's a little smoky, but that's okay. Set it back here and let it cool a little bit. We're gonna get this one the same way. I want it to get hot. Once I get it hot, then I can start cooking in it. So I've got the heat cut down, and I'm gonna let the eye cool down just a little bit and let the skillet cool down, and then do this one the same way. Let them cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna start cooking. All right, we got our eggs in, got our spam cooking, cast iron's hot. Let's get this stuff stirred and turned over and flipped before I burn it. All right, while we're cooking, eggs are done, we got some spam done. We're gonna make us a couple of pieces of skillet toast. Have you ever made toast in a skillet? You can cook anything in cast iron. Beautiful piece of toast. You can't pay nothing to stick in that skillet. All right, let's check on the toast. Oh, it's getting there. It's getting there. All right, spam's done. We're gonna get our other piece of toast out of the skillet. Can y'all see how pretty that is? That is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me see if I can get that out of there without getting burnt. We have got fried eggs, toast, and some fried spam for breakfast. Oh yeah. And some sunny D. All right, Campfire crew. This is Tony and Stella checking in from the peninsula. I just caught a pig out here on a whopper plopper. So, hey, I'm already loving the lake. Caught him right up in the mouth of that creek right there. Busted him. All right, big largemouth. We're gonna turn her back loose, get her back out so she can tend to her business. As always, life's an adventure. Don't get caught sitting at home. You ought to have your tail out here on the peninsula with me and Stella busting these big largemouths.